You're on, Pat. Go ahead.
Okay, I would like to open this meeting of May 30th, Thursday, 2013. Let the record show that Selectman Jessamine is on his way. He's not here. He's not present at this time. I would like to take a moment, if we could, a moment of silence to honor those of our fallen heroes and for those that continue to be in harm's way. Thank you. Town Hall changes, renovations, we've gone over it, changed it, looked at it. We've got to make some changes to, come on up, see what we can do. Catherine, we want your input too.
Come on the camera, Catherine. Don't be scared. It's just a camera.
All right.
The objective, and we've been through so many different renditions, but the objective is to provide safety for the welfare administrator when she meets with her clients. And the
Right.
second goal is to provide non-public meeting space
Right.
for the board and for Heather. So,
And also to eliminate intruding on the sewer department during non-public, right?
correct.
That's part of it. Okay.
So, the first one we had that never even quite made it to the board officially has since been knocked down, which was to, it's not feasible, was to move the town clerk tax collector's office into the meeting room downstairs, move land use into where the town clerk tax collector is, and then have the former land use office be spaced with Heather, and then with a divider between it, and then a private meeting space for non-public. But when we did the measurements, it just wouldn't, there was no way we could fit all of the town clerk's safes and everything. Then the next one we looked at after that was enclosing the meeting room downstairs, but making a little alcove for the welfare administrator's office, and then when she met with clients, she could then use that meeting room. So whenever she was holding office hours and had clients, that meeting room would be off limits. Then we looked at, well, that was really going to close off the heat and the air circulation. There was a discussion of security for her space. You know, how do you keep that separate from that space? So then we went to, today, we think we solved it, is to keep Heather in her office, but she meets with her clients we enclose off the meeting room, leaving the assessing desk.
Chairs, table.
Right.
The assessing desk stays in that meeting
Right.
room, right? Because Lauren needs space when she meets with her clients. And then keeping that hallway open so Cindy could get to her safe, and the
With the refrigerator and coffee
use the
right there.
refrigerator and everything. We'd also, there's room to move the supervisor the checklist and the trustee of trust funds back into that corner where the safe is.
And back where the safe door would open.
Right, because you're getting rid of that other stuff.
Why are we even talking about moving the welfare office?
We're not moving it.
Or, yeah, we are, we're creating yet again, another room for her, the welfare director. She's only here one day a week, and she's only here half a day a week.
But we're actually creating a non-public space for us, number one.
But we're eliminating a meeting room.
No, it's still
No,
a
we're
meeting
not.
room. It's
We're
still a
not.
meeting room. No.
That meeting room for most meetings is almost too small. Planning board meetings are typically standing room only.
Right.
Zoning board meetings can be standing room only. So what's going to be left? is not a meeting room. Maybe a place for non-publics, but not a meeting room.
Well, everything stays exactly as it is. It's just that there wouldn't be any room for overflow. There's room for...
No, it wouldn't stay as it is if you put a wall up, Joyce. It
That's
wouldn't.
not-
No, I meant...
And that's what she's saying.
Okay, right. I mean, there just would
You
be...
cut down that room, it's no longer a meeting room.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Hands down. So why, but my point is, Heather has been in that office since what, 2003? Why are we worried about the bolt of lightning? I mean, essentially, that's what we're doing.
Right, well, it was all part of joint loss management, and then in continued discussions we had about making sure that we have a plan to exit the building. Her in particular, when she's dealing with difficult clientele, there is no way for her to get through them to get out her door. There's no way to reconfigure that
Then why don't we simply
office.
move her desk so that when she meets with her clients, they have to be in her office, and here's her desk, and she goes out the door? I mean, because quite frankly, I mean, Johanna and I sit up here all day.
They can't be on the other side of her desk because that's where the incline goes on the ceiling when it starts to go down.
Well, no, that's where
They
she
would have to
is.
sit where her desk is, and then there's no room to put her
Well,
desk.
I mean, my point is, in all these years, in 10 years, there's been no incident.
but we only
I
had
know,
one
but for-
meeting room too in all those 10 years, which was downstairs.
And
We
we-
never had this meeting room up here.
But we've never had this many boards and committees either.
The other thing is, what's wrong with the way she does it now? When she has someone coming that is a problem,
Right.
she meets back in the meeting room, and either one of the selectmen or a police officer will come and sit while she meets with them.
Right.
Now, she has a few that she won't sit down with them by herself because of their problems.
But that doesn't solve the issue of our non-publics
That-
No.
intruding on that.
Right there.
True confidentiality.
Cheapest way.
because While she may be sitting there.
Yeah.
Usually she knows when these particular clients are coming in, so she can plan when they come in. But you have people that want to sit down at the accessing computer. We want to go out and access the
Right.
coffee machine. We're constantly
Oh, there's no
circulating
question,
through
yes,
that area that...
So it's not a good spot for her,
right.
confidentiality-wise, for
Right.
her to do that.
And
Okay.
that's an important aspect of it.
All right.
And have her
So-
come up here in the non-public room we create up here.
What
I mean, it just,
What's from stopping us creating a room up here? Let's talk about your thought for a second. If we enclose this all the way and make it into a non-public meeting room, or a meeting room, let's say just a meeting room, you know,
How do you get handicapped people up?
Yep, that's ADA compliant.
Right.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, currently now, she has one individual that she's concerned about. One. And she meets with them now, what, every 5 to 6 weeks, maybe?
Well,
It isn't often that we have that one individual.
Well, we also had the complaint about the confidentiality, because even when she's in there, if her door is closed or partially closed, that people can hear her.
right?
Than to have, I mean, all the indication is we need one room that's multi-purposed for confidential non-publics.
right.
That's why we thought
And
Table
cutting down a
downstairs.
meeting room is
But
not the way to
Are
go.
you thinking that if we did this area up here, Heather could bring confidential clients that need to have that table space and need to sit with the client and work with her on the forms and things, need to have that space with them in a confidential area, she could use that, utilize this space up here?
Sure, if she needed to, or continue doing what she's been doing.
And then she would be, what happens
It gives
if
her
she's up here?
options.
I'm just thinking,
She has
what
to,
hap-
she doesn't want to come up here. She has said that when that was...
well, we don't want to move her up here. It gives everyone
It
a
would be the same
space.
it would be the same as using the
Room downstairs.
room downstairs. She would utilize this room when she needed it, keep her room as is, but when she had a client, she would come up here, and this would be a safe place to come up
Okay, and
in
then
a
what
room.
about handicapped accessibility.
Well, that's an issue, so we can get to that.
And what about if something happens up here, who's going to see her or know if something happens?
Well, she'd have to have a panic device.
Right, you'd have to
Well,
have
you know,
panic and cameras.
I'm here, Johanna's here,
You're only here a certain
Necessarily.
time of day.
or, you know, if she has to bring somebody up here, then
Johanna could be out on,
call the police like she normally does. I mean,
Well, she would be bringing all her clients up here,
why?
because the room that she has now there isn't
Okay,
enough room.
for 10 years, she's used that room. And
Right.
it isn't very often that she ends up in the meeting room.
so you're saying right now
So
that
does-
we can no longer utilize that room as is now because of loss prevention? You have to have an ingress and an egress out of it?
This isn't an...
You have to?
No, this is an identified concern that has come
Okay.
up through the Joint Loss Management Committee.
But we don't have to.
No.
Okay.
But, concerned about safety, public safety.
All
And
right.
we have 4 meetings a year where we talk about safety issues.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has been, ever since I've been here,
That's been a problem.
has been a problem in that...
Well, it's
Heather
not been a
is-
problem, it's been talked about, because for 10 years, she's utilized that space.
Right, and when I
Where was
first
she?
came, my third day on the job...
She used to be in
when the
Tim's
labor
office.
inspector came, she looked at that room and she said, "Whoa, how does she get out?" Well, when she has a particularly difficult client, then she meets out in the other room, and then we were forced to put the door on with the window. So at least to have a window where people could see in if she was okay.
Well, you know,
I'm just not in favor of making the meeting room downstairs smaller. I'm just not,
I think
just not.
ideally, if we ever do get around to building a new police station, that would be an ideal place to put Heather.
Oh, yeah,
Have
that's
an
always
office
been
in the
the...
police
So
station.
what you're saying is, she's not getting no office. I'm just saying.
Well, the alternative would be if there's some way we could maybe just get her a table instead of a desk, and then maybe get an extra file cabinet, and put 2 file cabinets in the back, couple chairs, and then a table and a chair so that she's sitting right by the door. And when someone comes in, they are sitting further in. And then she'll have to close her door.
Well, she closes it now, but the main reason that she leaves the door open is some of the people that come in to talk to her smell so bad that she opens the door so that, and it gets it gets way too hot in there.
Does she have a fan in there?
Well, that office is perfect for one of those, like Johanna's little dinky air conditioners.
You have no window to put it out of.
Well, she's got 2 walls that exit the outside, so...
That was Joe, he's at the consortium, and he's very deep into the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't know when he'll be here.
Well, that room wasn't built for an office,
Nope.
No, it's,
not even close to being an office.
Okay,
it is?
so let's, I think eventually what's going to happen is we are going to close in here because we need the space. So if we close this space in and had a portion of it over there for welfare, over on the right-hand side, and had that spot there for handicap accessible, that would give us a non-public space for people that need non-public meetings, namely mostly the selectmen, but there's other people as well. And that would give her space to meet, as well as an office that would have an ingress and an egress out.
But how would you make it handicapped accessible? When we had estimates before, we just don't have the length to get the
The ramp.
ramp.
You can't come down the ramp this way, along the wall?
No.
Why not? I mean, we do it
Because you have
outside
to have so many
there.
feet for each
Right.
foot of rising.
Right.
You'd have to put, even...
You don't have the
on-
height, you mean, for the length that you have, okay.
Well, we don't have the length for the height we have.
Right.
For the height.
You'd have to go somewhere out, way out there, to meet it. Well,
Well, I mean, even to
honest,
get
you'd
it
probably have to
to
go to the
go
window.
this way and then up.
to meet it.
Because
Does it have to be,
we can cut an egress in there. You had stairs, opening up those stairs,
right,
but that wouldn't be, they make those lifts that would lift someone up.
to a handicap, because you're not talking,
Yeah, you could put one in the stairwell in there.
over here,
Yeah,
and then they could just go in there.
yeah.
In the stairwell going up into the bathroom,
Yep.
but then you're making them go through a bathroom.
Well, the other thing
You're not
is,
making them go through a bathroom, there's a hallway.
yeah,
The bathroom is a separate room off the hallway.
The water closet.
Yeah. So,
It
anybody who
solves
comes
the
for a
issue.
meeting goes in there and uses the bathroom if they want to.
But if she has office hours and Joanna happens to be out doing inspections and Catherine's off doing inspections, then she's up here all alone.
well, then somebody would have to come up and sit.
She
she's
she
off.
publishes her day. She's here a week in advance. So we could certainly plan around that. But,
Right.
this solution isn't going to take place for a year.
Right.
Well,
No,
then,
it could take place this year. What did you get for an estimate to block this in?
To do everything? I don't remember. I'd have to dig it out.
It didn't include a lift.
Didn't include a lift.
Right.
We can do it without the lift and do the lift next year.
But I'm back to, and the other thing that wasn't completely researched is enclosing that space over there that's not being used with these types of things, only soundproof.
But then you have to go, not to be soundproof, they're not totally soundproof, they're 80% soundproof. Is 80% soundproof confidentiality with welfare good enough?
Probably a lot quieter than what she's in now.
And we had the soundproof ones at work. They're higher and they're thicker. And yes, they are, because, you're talking on the phone with customers and clients and things, and you need it to be we were sitting next to each other and we could barely hear what they were doing. You had to stand up to talk to them. But if I wanted to, and I wasn't on the phone, I could hear what the other person was saying.
well, the reason we talked about not enclosing the space is because it would get too hot in there.
Or you'd have to put up air conditioners or something, because there's no way to move the air around up here if you, wall it in.
You could, actually.
Yep.
Now, it wouldn't be an air conditioner, but
You could put one of these.
You could do a ceiling fan.
That would be cheaper.
well, that was the original plan, and then, why was that shot down?
Oh, hell, no, heck, broke loose.
I thought it was still out there. I didn't think
Everybody
it was
went
shut
in.
down.
Right. That's still open,
Right.
but we still need a non-public place. That would be in addition to having this. Only this, we wouldn't need the ramp.
It would be inexpensive enough for us to, and the highway guys can do that.
To box it in.
Just to put up a wall. That's all we need, is to put up a wall. Get some paneling, just do it inexpensively, 2x4s. It's not structural, it's
And not
just,
worry about heating and light?
well, you've got light.
You have to have light in there.
You have light.
You have to worry about light. We can't just live with that
Let
light.
there be light.
But there's no heat up there either.
Overrated.
In the wintertime, you're gonna get
Well, there's a
cold.
radiator there. There's a radiator there.
But we ran into the problem, if we keep these curtains closed in the wintertime, that bathroom gets too cold.
Well, that radiator isn't doing anything right now because there's so much blocked in front of it.
Plus it's not,
So it's not radiating heat, but the other issue is we'd have to have the heater guy come in. I don't know who we use now, if it's still Caswell.
Well, no, the technicians that both Jason and Brian no longer, they've both gone on their own. So we could,
Really?
Oh, wait.
the air conditioner, I called Brian, since he's the one that's been here for the past 3 years service.
You called him at his new,
Yep.
so he could do the heaters, right?
Probably.
Yeah, so, I mean, it doesn't matter who we call, we just get somebody to come and
And then have an electrician put ceiling fan and
Sure.
how many outlets are up there.
Have to have outlets.
we're non-public?
Because really, this non-public space would just be for you folks, and then if we ever happen to have a selectman that was here, we would have to make other arrangements for using that space.
we have builders that work for the town, right?
What?
We have builders that work for the town?
But I think that, let's look into, are we all in consensus here? Can we at least do this?
I just wanted to throw out one other thing for non-public space in the interim that we could do like right away, is that in my office, because I'm going to have to get a new workstation because of my back. So I can reconfigure my office where, because all I really need is a place where I can work on my computer and maybe one file cabinet, and all that other stuff can come out of my office.
So your desk is not working for you? Okay. It's too
So,
high.
It's too high, and
Is it too high, or is your chair too low?
it's too high. So I need to, what I would like is just a regular desk for computer console. And then we can move a nice table in there and get some smaller chairs. The chairs that in there are just, they're too big, that we could use them. And then you can do that, your non-public space. I have no problems with, if I needed to move out, or if I didn't need to be present.
You see that really nice table up there? It's on its back up there
Yeah.
that the bank gave us?
Yeah.
Would be a perfect, nice, wooden, beautiful table to go in there, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, because, the credentials come out, the other desks, and all those file cabinets, I keep everything electronically, and anything that's for the selectmen, when Tim moves the server out of there, we can put in, he's gonna put that in his office, that's why he got the extra outlets there.
The server?
And his backups are gonna go down in the
So
basement.
the server that's in Catherine's office now would go in there?
Right, so we could put another file cabinet in there, because we're already crunched for selectmen's files.
You could put two for where the server is.
And then I had 3 of the file cabinets down in the box storage room are keyed now. And so Gus and I were going to kind of thin out the assessing files, and then I could take both those file cabinets and all those boxes and everything on the credenza can go downstairs. I just need to mark everything so that, like all the fire safety study stuff, and that's the credenza. And then the 2 file cabinets are just, I just can read out.
And then you would put a table in that place with some chairs.
And that would be a nice meeting room.
That's cheaper. I like that idea.
Get a nice little
At least
workspace
for
that's
now,
going to work for you.
While we do a permanent plan
So that would be an immediate solution.
for your non-publics.
Right.
It'd mean you guys having to go up and downstairs.
It's exercise.
I think we can tough it out.
Yeah, we could tough that out.
Good, thanks a lot.
Again, if you've got a room full of people, sometimes it's easier for you folks to leave rather than the people.
Yep, it is.
So, do you have in mind a workstation that will accompany you to what you need?
Well, I was thinking like similar to the one that Lauren uses, but when Lynette was here, DeGroot from LGC, she gave me the name of a company that they refer people to and that they make ergonomically correct.
Well, I can't say enough about that, because I totally agree with you on that.
You're already I'm slow doing any of this stuff.
Oh, no, there was a point in my life where I was physically impaired, and that behind a desk job, the way it wasn't working for me. So I got a letter from the doctor, and they called in an ergonomic specialist. And I got to tell you, the things that they came up with were far greater than what I thought would be possible. But it was very, very comfortable, and they weren't expensive. They were not expensive fixes. They were sometimes very easy fixes where they would put a slide out for your mouse, and then it would be your shoulder length and things like that. So I would highly recommend that before we put money into getting a workstation that may or may not work for you. I would say do something like that and then find out what will work best for you. Get that. We can move this table downstairs, move what you need to move down into the basement and get that done. If we can get that done in the next couple of months, we've got a space for, everybody agree with that or no?
Yeah, I say we still look into the,
And we still look into the place up
Quieting
here
that
for we still have to deal with the other thing, which is Heather and I. The selectmen's desks over here, we don't use them.
Right.
We really don't. And there are files, there are life safety files there that really should be downstairs
Right.
and kept all together with the other stuff. And, because there are plans that are in there, so
Right.
those all should be kept together. We should come up with a configuration and wall that off, and put Catherine and Heather and move those big file cabinets. You'd still have to wall it because it would have to be confidential. And put the wall cabinets up against.
what's in that one?
That's empty. Plus, there's another, how many are up there? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we put those up there because there wasn't any room downstairs.
The other thing Al had suggested is getting a Tilton trailer rental, put it down at the highway garage, and put all those bikes in it.
Everything down in the basement we don't use.
Those bikes have been down there
Long
for
time.
years.
There's more.
Yeah,
More
well,
have
they
come.
need, we need to tell them to have their auction, do their thing, and get rid of the bikes.
Right.
They don't have to hoard them for years.
Right.
But there's strollers and there's...
Right, they
All
have...
of that is part of an auction.
That's
They
all
only keep
part
them
of an
so-
auction.
certain amount of years.
Why, it's like us trying to find space for Heather for 5 years. We've been talking about it for 5 years.
They have to go through every bike, every case to find out what is settled, what isn't, and then there's a time frame, and then they can get rid of it. Those that are and it's time-consuming to do that. And with the cases that they have now, new that they're trying to investigate, it's sort of kind of been on the back burner.
Oh, but when I was first a selectman, that was yearly. We had that little auction yearly. And they'd usually combine it with fingerprinting and all the stuff. They used to do it,
I was gonna say, why don't we line all the bikes up out on the street and just put a little sign?
And the other thing too is, they don't get much tip for them. But like those strollers, why can't we allow our welfare director to give them out to needy people?
Right.
We can.
The reason they're still there is because they're procrastinating. I'm
Let's
sorry.
send the chief a
Some of
letter.
them, yeah.
Send the chief a letter and ask him to please make some progress on getting bikes to
ASAP, not...
ASAP for the
We need
bikes
the
to
space.
auction. We need the space. And this stuff can go downstairs. But though, I mean, I can empty out mine very quickly. I haven't used it in a year. I certainly can empty out mine. You know what? Norm still has a thing.
Yeah, his drawer's full too.
We can empty
I
that.
don't think Joe uses anything.
I don't think he does either.
I do. Take my drawer away from me, go ahead. It's the only thing I got, take it.
He doesn't use it.
But like everything that's in my drawer,
I use my drawer.
Yeah, he's drawers full of stuff.
I
You see how much
I
stuff's in that
think
drawer?
once in the past
I
year,
thought
I've come
nothing
up here and gone in and found something.
Oh my God, I've got 3 drawers in mine. Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Expanding, Catherine. I see more and more stuff. See already.
Oh, no, that's just public information. There is a pile of stuff there that Al brought up from downstairs for me, and there's a blueprint, but that stuff in the front is just stuff that haphazardly ends up here, and so I put it there in case the public wants to look at it.
Now, when you're talking about enclosing this, you're talking about enclosing the whole space?
No.
And with the divider, or just the?
Just Heather.
Just Heather.
And you're talking about going up to where the light switch is up there?
As far as we need to go,
8 feet.
what are those panels?
They're 8 and
Right.
10 feet.
So what are the most soundproof?
The most is going to be 10.
10.
10 feet?
And
With a door.
with a door.
I have a door, obviously.
And then what about, we've got electrical outlets there, so just the, you talking about another ceiling fan or just a regular fan?
I would go with a ceiling fan.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something, because otherwise it'll get too hot.
And if you enclose it, you're going to have a light.
Right.
So a ceiling fan with the light would be preferable.
Made out of crystal.
Light's going to be a little high up, isn't it?
Now you're hanging down.
Well,
I mean, I know these
if
lights
you
are here,
enclose
but...
that corner, it's going to be dark.
Yeah, but I'm just looking at that outlet up there, if we couldn't do something with that with a light.
Why is that outlet way up there?
Clock.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was before
nice.
battery clocks.
'Cause we used to look at that and say, that must have been a mighty tall lamp they had over there.
Catherine, what do you think? You've been here the longest.
I like the idea of installing that in and fixing up your office and putting in a nice table for the selectmen to sit in.
Yep.
I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
I like that.
And we could do that for relatively inexpensive
Cheap money.
dollars, yeah.
This is not gonna cost a lot of money. to
Right.
Put in a ceiling fan, a light, and close that area.
Right.
You have to move the phones up here.
Yeah.
That'll be a problem.
I think there's a phone there already, isn't there?
I have a phone on my desk.
That'll be a
Jack's already up
problem.
there.
So you now will work on that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your town hall liaison.
What does that tell me?
So, we've decided that Joyce will look into ergonomically correct workstation for her office.
I'm taking one of those desks over there for me.
No, you're not.
I don't have a desk.
You have a desk.
Yeah, I
Downstairs.
want one that locks.
Can't you have that
What a
one,
brat.
put a lock in it?
The drum won't lock. It broke.
Isn't that one of the oldest desks left in town hall?
Yeah, it is.
That's Joe's
Hey,
old
but
desk,
hey,
isn't
don't
it?
worry about me.
Oh, no.
Desk away.
Swap desks?
That's what I just
We
said.
have all kinds of desks up here.
I mean, what do you need the desk
We have
for?
desks down in the basement, too. There's at least 3 down.
His desk should be thrown,
Get rid of this.
scrap.
Yeah,
Downstairs.
and then we'll get a lock for you.
Downstairs.
I can tell you that her desk is longer than your desk, so you're going to
No, I
have to
want
make
one of
it.
those desks.
Oh, this desk up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, take it.
I don't want her desk.
When I get my desk.
How would Heather's
you can
desk
have
work up there?
My desk, and we'll get a lock
Does she need
for
that
it.
much
There's a
space?
key, I mean,
I'd rather have a metal one.
There's 3 of them. There's 2 of them up here that work and lock.
And we got a
It's
desk back
just, I
there.
think it's a shame to put that wooden desk in the basement.
I know.
So if it works up here, or Heather,
You want the credenza?
well, it's up to Heather. I'm just thinking, does she need that much space?
She'll need a changing table. Oh, smart.
She's like, she'll need a change. You're funny.
She get people with kids, you know.
And then in the meantime, we can, we won't give up on the idea on redoing the stage, because that would be more permanent.
In the future.
Visually, that would be a nice desk for Kim, because there's a nice wooden desk when you go into the town clerk's office, instead of a metal desk.
Oh, good point. Yes.
That's where we're going with that desk thing.
Might be, yeah.
I always think of somebody else.
You got my old one, which is perfect.
You didn't want the wooden one, you just told me.
Whammy, whammy.
Oh, I know I
Man,
do.
oh man, you sound just like somebody I know.
And if find space for the credenza,
That's
I
right.
think we
Just saying.
should bring the credenza upstairs.
Yep.
Well, here's a shot in the dark. It was just an idea. We should put Cindy in the basement. I'm just saying.
I said that to
It was good enough for the police, good enough for the town clerk.
And youth assistants used to be down there,
Yeah,
and welfare used to be down there.
that's right.
Right.
I ain't got a problem with that.
We could put,
Cheaper, the offices are already made.
That's
That's
what I'm
right.
saying.
all you gotta do is
Talking right
clean them
now.
up,
Who's listening?
and got the,
know if we'd made the lift go into the basement, you could actually do that.
right.
Can we change it? Make the lift go to the basement?
Well, that'd be expensive.
Oh.
So Al, what do you think it would cost to enclose this off the top of your head?
Just to enclose that with what?
Well, to get some soundproof,
These things?
well, yeah, but soundproof ones,
Petitions,
partitions.
$1,000?
cubicles.
Maybe $1,000? Maybe?
Okay. Now,
Somehow you have to attach them.
temporary plan, and then we have a long-term plan. And the other thing, Al, you and I will go down at some point, when Heather's here, and we'll see if we can reconfigure so that she is sitting by the door.
Not
Right.
gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
That door swings in, it doesn't swing out. That's not gonna happen. It's almost impossible.
We can't change it to the swing outdoor?
Let's just get this done as soon as possible. I mean, she's been in there for 10 years,
Yep.
so let's get this done as soon as we can. I mean, that should be the priority, is making that space for her.
That should be quick and easy.
Yep.
Eliminate what's there, put the walls up, get her office in there, you're done.
Okay.
That's fast and furious, that's not even,
And the only thing is we'll have to work with her as far as, and she'll have to let us know when she's coming so that we know there's somebody else up
right.
there.
But that's,
It'd be easier if she didn't come on Fridays.
She doesn't normally, does she?
Oh, she was coming on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I said, oh, I'm coming on Fridays now,
Yeah.
because Wednesdays was really working.
I liked
hard.
Yeah,
Wednesdays.
because I said to her, I said, it'd
Right.
be great if you came at the same time that I'm here,
Yes.
because, it's like tomorrow, I can't be here tomorrow, I have inspections up the wazoo.
It's always kind of
I'm gonna be all over town.
a skeleton day.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I save up on Fridays. It's like, I gotta go traipsing out in the wood for more ticks again. But,
Oh, we collected a lot the other day. She was mentioning it out of
Yeah, I
bottom.
should have mentioned it. Jane's got a lot up there.
I just, I was curious why she switched.
so that's what we're gonna go for plan, right? Set forth, set our sails, and let's fly.
Okay. Good.
So you have so we're gonna look at your workstation, Joyce. So you're gonna look into getting someone to advise you on your workstation, right? Then, once we get that taken care of, your desk will come someplace up, well, actually, it might go to Kim. All right. And then we will take that table that's up here and put it down into your office and make that into a non-public?
Yeah, my desk for Den's, and then what I'll do with my workstation, I'll have my workstation up, you know, where my bullet board is, so I'm facing the wall, so I can still see out when people come in, and I can have my printer and stuff here, then when people come in, I can just turn around.
Right.
There's a table and chairs there.
That's not feng shui, but we can do it.
Still get continue in here, though.
And then what we're going to do over here is enclose it with acoustical
Right.
panels,
10-foot
right,
So-
dividers,
door,
right.
We'll need estimates for, wow.
fan and lights.
So you need electrical?
And check the electrical, what you're gonna end up with for electrical in there, as far as plugs and outlets and stuff. Because if we gotta have the electrician here anyway to put up fans and stuff, we might as well, we're gonna need plugs, whatever, to get it done.
Do you think that will be soundproof enough? The fact that they're just 10 feet?
Yeah,
Unless you're
I
10
do.
feet tall, you ain't gonna hear them.
I do.
Now, if they go up 10 feet and we still have an issue, we can always put a ceiling on it, if it's still not soundproof enough.
Or you can put sound diverters up.
Yeah.
She leaves her door open. Down there is when she's interviewing people, and she's, people waiting to, other people waiting to see her, and other people waiting to register cars, so, it's kind of an oxymoron.
Yeah.
But 10 feet should be plenty. I mean, Johanna's way over there. I'm a selectman, so,
These only go 6 feet high, though, these acoustical panels.
Well, like I say, we can always
They only
put
go 6 feet.
a ceiling
Telescoping.
in, should it come to that, but I think if we do the, get the acoustical, that, there's no reason.
I cannot hear Johanna's conversations. I mean, Paul Boudreau was up here for the longest time. I heard him come up, but I could not
Right.
hear anything that was said, and he's not a soft speaker, especially when he's laughing. So, in fact, I've never overheard a conversation of hers. She has to come out from around there
Right.
if she wants to say something to me.
Well, this room is so large, and she's behind a petition, and I've been up here too, reading and stuff like that, and I'm aware there's a voice up here, but I couldn't tell you what they're saying,
Yeah, there's
because
no way
it's
you
just
can make it out.
mumbling behind the wall. Now, like I say, if she steps out here and she's still talking to him, then you can hear it, but behind that wall,
What if we move Joyce up here and put Heather in Joyce's room?
You want your town administrator downstairs. Yeah, your town administrator needs to be downstairs.
maybe Catherine would rather come up here.
It's like taking the captain of the ship and put him down in the in the galley.
In the hole?
But, the three of them, these two and Tim, they all work,
Yeah, you can't disrupt
intermingle
that.
with each other, so to split them up is just going to not prove anything.
So
Right.
take down the walls and put up cubicles
Yeah.
downstairs. And everybody can have their own cubicle. I'm just kidding.
I don't laugh, that's what I would have done.
Sounds like a good solution.
All right.
On with the meeting.
Thank you for taking the time.
It's getting there anyway, right?
Yeah.
But we have to also think about monies that we're transferring out of
Yep.
general building expenses into other areas to put back in now, because we're going to need that money.
Yep.
Because we want this done as soon as possible. Right? Right. Okay, next, Cindy, if you can get her,
Oh, here, I'll just,
we'll just go right into non-public.
I'll page it.
I just got an email from Joe. He hadn't heard back from the school about the educational channel. He wanted me to call Dr. Miller and find out.
Yep.
You want to talk to me so much? until Selectmen.
Nobody told me Cindy was coming up here.
Going to enter into non-public.
I'm gonna need a drink.
She's asking specifically for a non-public. Yep.
Well, I'm looking at the topic, and that's public. So I don't get it.
She's asked specifically for non-public.
Let Cindy know we're ready for
She's
her.
elected official? She's an elected official, right? She don't need to be non-public.
That's exactly what I said.
Well, then she is not non-public then.
Yes, it is, because she's going into details about specifics,
In the details.
so it becomes non-public.
Don't be wasting our time.
I'm not wasting your time.
No, I said she better not be wasting our time.
However, I do forget what the third thing was.
Age comes with it.
Oh, I thought it was Tim. Tim.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the IT budget.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
All right, why don't we take the minutes of May 23rd while we're waiting for Cindy?
I'm reading the conversation about the sign in the
By the sign, what?
sign that was knocked down.
Oh, yeah, I laughed at that too when I read it.
Down after I read it, I said, oh, I could have.
I love that.
You know, quite frankly, it doesn't matter if it's a sign or a mailbox, if it's in the right-of-way, oh, well.
Yeah, but it's not even a road we plow. But I love the state's,
Where is Winnisquam Shore?
it's over there,
The one that goes up past,
yeah, it's up.
it's on the, just past the causeway, South Bay, Nick,
Yep,
I don't know who owns
And up
that
on
now,
the-
and it goes up.
yep.
We don't plow Route 3, and we
No.
don't plow Winnisquam Shores.
No, we don't.
But still, that's the rule, if it's in the right-of-way,
Yep.
Yeah, she missed her window.
At this time, I would like to make a motion to go into non-public as per RSA 91A:3, and it is matters which, if discussed in public.
Second,
C,
second,
roll call vote?
yes.
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 Who invited you up here to do this?
Okay.
I didn't see your note.
What? So,
Did you send us a note?
No.
Oh, okay,
The finance report? Tim's updates?
okay. Just
So-
making sure.
we will announce that we have brought all of the IT, hardware, software, and communications into one department, and have hired a part-time IT director, who will report directly to the Board of Selectmen, and is responsible for the overall planning, organizing, and execution of all IT functions for all town departments. And we will also announce that we have hired Tim Pearson as the IT director, and the wage will be $350 a week, exempt. Okay, I will also make a motion at this time, because it's a change in the budget that we didn't budget for last year. We've had to make some movements, and we created an IT department. I will make a motion that we transfer, do you want me to go down line to line?
Nope.
Or just go with the recommendation of the finance director to
Yep.
transfer the necessary lines to the IT department, 01-68.
Second,
A motion has been made and seconded to move the necessary funds to the IT department. Is there any discussion?
The information about what numbers were switched around, whatever is available to anybody that comes in here to ask for it, correct?
Yes. Yep, it's all
Just
public.
wanted to get that part on the tape.
Okay, all right. We will also notify the Budget Committee as well. They'll get
Something looks very much like this, yes?
pretty similar to before their meeting in June. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
That's unanimous, and you have a couple of things for us?
Yeah, I had two things. One is our auditor is going to be here next week, and we're very close to finishing the 2012 audit, but that's been my big focus towards the end of this week, just getting ready for them being here. And then the second thing is, with the completion of the recycling agreement, Waste Zero is ready to collect our sample, or produce our sample bag, what's going to be on there. So they've asked for various things. I just wanted to get kind of a consensus. At one point, Tilton Recycles was what I thought we were going to have printed on it.
That's what we voted on.
Is that what was voted on? It was some wording. Okay. Is that
Tilton
what we're asking?
Recycles, and anything else had to be approved by us.
Okay. And so just Tilton Recycles, that's it?
Without our logo?
That, we only voted on Tilton Recycles now, plus anything else that we decided was going to go on the bag, but that was going to go on the bag.
Okay.
So if they mock up something with what can be included.
Logo, I mean, as long as there's no extra charge. On the purple bags, did you happen to speak with them about what kind of writing shows up on the purple bag?
Color lettering, no. But I
And
will.
how purple is purple?
Probably black
Good question.
lettering.
I guess it depends on, well, I would have thought a lighter color lettering.
Well, I
Something that shows
I mean,
up at a
we're
distance.
talking about a garbage bag.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you don't want it to be so, nondescript as, somebody putting out a black bag or a dark colored bag. and-
Or just finding a purple bag somewhere.
All they got to pick it up is go, oh, Tilton.
Yeah.
I don't think it really much matters.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll get them, they're also asking for our letterhead, which I'll get them, because they'll start mocking up. If you go to their contract, there's a letter that they send on behalf of the town to the retailers, and
And they send it on our letterhead? Signed by them?
no, it is, if I remember correctly, it's basically introducing the retailers to the program and introducing them to it from the town.
That's deceiving.
It's illegal.
It's on our letterhead.
Well, it doesn't necessarily, I wasn't going to necessarily, they've got to send back what they plan to send out, so it would be put before you for proofing.
Okay.
So same thing with the bags. This is all pre-proof.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so Tilton Recycles, no seal, and we'll figure out something on the color of the lettering. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Okay, moving right along.
Approval of minutes?
Yeah, before we had started on the minutes, and then,
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public as they pertain to
Personnel? We had a personnel
meeting process until the
deal.
matters are resolved,
and
Second.
and
personnel.
personnel permanently.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, minutes
What is this?
of May 23rd. That's the DES thing that they want me to sign. That they're asking for that other paper. Right, so you have to make a... Just sign it. Make a motion, we bring the minutes of May 23rd, 2013 to the floor for discussion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
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 Okay, let's sign.
Oh, I know why they sent this to me. Heck.
The Joe guy, Joe, down on Church.
Yeah,
He's gonna call you,
okay,
because he wants to explain it to you, too.
okay.
So you won't mind getting a phone call from us?
Oh, no, no. Always glad to talk to Joel.
I'd like to make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second?
Any discussion, corrections, or? All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
And always that great public input.
We do have the meeting coming up. We have a letter in our folders about June 6th of the New Hampshire DOT.
Right.
There will be arrangements that are made for the department to hold a combined public officials public information meeting. The combined projects involve the rehabilitation and deck replacement of the red-listed bridges, bridge number 114/157 and 118/158, that carries Interstate 93 northbound and southbound over the Winnipesaukee River and railroad between the towns of Northfield and Tilton, and the installation of score remediation countermeasures at Piers 1 and 2 for both bridges. The meeting is scheduled for June 6, 2013. The doors open at 6:30 with the formal presentation at 7 at the Tilton Town Hall, second floor meeting, 257 Main Street, here at Town Hall. Just want the public to be aware that that will be in the midst of our Selectmen's meeting. We may be finished by then, but still be in the midst of it.
It could happen.
Where are we posting the notices?
And on our bulletin board.
Do we have one on the website? And can we email a copy of this letter to the planning board and
Conservation got one.
conservation, planning? I can't think of who else would be involved besides those two.
Right.
Zoning might be interested. Thank you, Catherine.
I find it interesting with our meeting last night at the Selectmen's meeting, Samberton Selectmen's meeting, that Ruth Mooney is her name, that said the Winnisquam Fire,
Ruth Mooney?
Ruth Mooney, right?
Yeah,
Is that her
Selectman
name?
Mooney.
Selectman Mooney.
Belmont.
Said in Belmont, the Winnisquam Fire Station was absolutely no use to anybody or anyone. And when we have a flyer here for June 3rd, you're invited to attend 6:30 to 8 p.m. Green grass, clean water, and landscaping at the water's edge.
The Recreation Department for the town of Belmont is currently located in that building.
They use that building.
Yes, they do.
They indicated last night that it was basically condemned.
And they're still using it?
Yes, they did.
And their Parks and Recreation still use that building?
Yes,
That's
they were there
correct.
yesterday.
They
That's
rent
not
it
what-
out. I know they rent it out. They rent out the top floor.
We heard last
An
night.
But the
unusable
windows-
building.
Not what she
The windows,
wanted
the
us to
window
believe.
casings are rotting, the furnace is null and void, the tank outside for the furnace apparently is,
Does Gail Ober know that? I mean, that was in Laconia Sun today, is,
that's
was
what she
pretty
was
much
saying
condemned.
last night. I don't know about, and she did say last night that Parks and Recreation was operating currently out of that building.
She didn't say it until
She didn't say it
somebody
in
brought
public.
it up to her.
right.
So you said essentially they condemn the building, and they're letting youth use that.
They-
Everything she mentioned that was wrong with the building is basically a maintenance issue. If you add up just the things she talked about last night, the cost of building that building would be far, far, far more.
They didn't seem to feel that it was worth putting money into that building. They might be right. They have a facilities
I
report
suspect,
coming, and,
that they'd like to sell that land for a very high price.
well, you heard her say that it was worth more as land.
Yeah.
And,
And I don't blame them. I would if I
no.
was a selectman.
I agree.
I gotta go down, there's somebody downstairs for me, yeah. We'll start with selectmen's reports.
Joe,
Think I got anything?
you always have
I
something.
do. I just spent 4 hours sitting in negotiations with MetroCast. It was just like being at a selectmen's meeting. I know that you guys won't understand that maybe, but you guys do. Okay. There are various changes that we have to make for our particular agreement with MetroCast. The template that they gave is written in Guilford's name and with Guilford's stuff. The very first part of it talks about whereas they've done a good job since the franchise went into effect in 2000 and blah, blah, blah. That all comes out. It has to be changed.
Right.
Relatively simple. All of the major things, a performance bond, the what-ifs on the generator backup power system, definition of the INET and their proposal for cable drops for the municipal buildings, and everything pretty much hasn't changed. They did make a big change from the last one. Instead of 10 houses per mile for build-out, they went to 5 houses per half mile, which is actually good because the way our housing is and the amount of build-out we have here in town, they could get 9 houses in a mile and not be compelled to do it, you know what I mean? They'll also contribute $1,000 in the 6th, 10th, half a mile, right? If there's a house that's just outside the half a mile, basically they'll put in the pole for free.
Okay.
Let me see, what other things? There's a side letter agreement. Because the Telecommunications Act of 1934 as amended, blah, 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 does not cover internet on any level whatsoever. Then this franchise agreement does not cover the internet. And the side letter, they've proposed in giving all municipal buildings the hookup for the internet and 10 megabytes per second, which is the standard package, municipal package. Joyce, you can probably answer this better than I could at the time. I'm assuming that 10 megabytes is not going to be enough for town hall with our servers and everything else, but we'll probably cover like down at the town garage, for instance. Yeah. It won't cover the school on any level. They need foreign access to that. And the police department probably is going to need in excess of 10 megabytes up and down. For you, Catherine, that's 10 megabytes coming into the building and 10 megabytes going out. All right? And we're trying to negotiate, although they weren't very receptive today. I just wanted to, I know that you're not necessarily savvy with all the terms. I apologize if,
I don't even know what a megabyte is.
Okay, good enough. That's the amount of information that goes along the wires, the speed of the
Is
internet.
it like volts, wattage?
Approximately. There's kilobytes, megabytes, and terabytes. Terabytes are like zoom, okay? And kilobytes are like a squirrel in a cage. Okay, so we're trying to negotiate the 50% above that if, like, for the school district, who needs, like, I don't even know what their usage is, but because schools are the ones that are basically the problem in every municipality. because of the state requirements for testing, and it's all online now, they have huge usage.
wow.
And so we're trying to negotiate a 50% reduction in the rate above the 10 megabytes per second. All right, so that said, let me see. There was a question about our school not being on the list. They sat right here, oh, yeah, but consequently, I still have to get the, would you please send the address to Scott Dunn over in Guilford, who will in turn transmit it to the lawyer and Metrocast.
Did you get my message?
I did, and I told them, and they said, well, what's the address over there? And it's like, West Main Street, East, you know, I don't know, but we'll get in touch with you. Okay, that was good. And we still have two issues that we're going to have to meet again. Today was supposed to be our last meeting. One issue is the issue of public access to the airwaves. We have the option of having a governmental channel, an educational channel, and an access channel. If we're so inclined, we can produce the access channel right here. But in lieu of that, all access point, nobody opted for that. Because nobody wants to mess with public access. It's a horror show and the equipment involved. And so all of the head ends are being delivered at the Hewitt Technical Center. Which is the designee. The designee being currently Lakes Region Public Access. I can tell you from the Public Access Board, where when it was originally set up, it was based on subscribers. The subscriber numbers that we received from Metrocast were a function of the old franchise. So Metrocast was giving us the numbers of cable subscribers and internet subscribers. That's like as separate numbers. So, I mean, the numbers that we've been sending out for years have all been skewed, which we didn't find out until just recently. But public access is in the process of coming up with a new fee. Town can get in for relatively cheap money. They're part of the process. Everybody in the town, the churches, the people, whoever, can then submit to public access on a fee-for-service basis that they would pick up. So with a relatively, we're a part of the process fee to help defray the costs. The fee-for-service would then go into effect for people who actually wanted to use public access. They'd be paying for their own time. The rest of the money that it costs to run that station would be picked up by grants and sponsorships, and we're in the process of applying for various grants and whatever, hoping to remain solvent past January of 14. But as the treasurer, and it's public knowledge, I can tell you that at the end of January of 2014, unless something happens, the Lakes Region Public Access will be no more, and that channel goes blank. Nobody will have access to the public airwaves. And I think that is the only reason that I've been involved in this all this time, because I think it's important that people, especially, they don't have computers. They get everything out of the TV. Some people, as you might be aware, Catherine, don't get their news, and they're not familiar with computers, or they don't even have an internet connection in their home. Lots of our residents are like that. No, I can't say unfortunately. It is what it is.
Can you give us an idea of the cost? Because I think I sent it to everyone. There was an article in the newspaper that Belmont was quite taken back by the bill of over $10,000 that they got.
Their bill was over $15,000.
Oh, over $15,000.
And they decided not to pay it.
Right.
And I've spoke with Gene Bodwin, who is the town administrator in the town of Belmont, and I'm supposed to go over and talk to them as a LRPA guy on Monday night and explain what we're about going forward, the proposed new rate adjustments, and so forth. There's also somebody from the public in Belmont that as soon as they heard that Belmont wasn't going to be on LRPA, they were like up in arms, and it's a church. Apparently, they're going to bring the congregation, and so that should be an interesting meeting on Monday night over there in Belmont.
Well, I just wondered, if have they talked at all? You know, if you're going to contract, what these prices look like?
The LRPA and the designee, we'll call it the designee.
Right.
All right, is not a function of the contract. It's not a function of the franchise.
Okay.
It's a function of the consortium all getting together, those towns that are interested in providing access to the airways for their public,
Right.
to band together to share the expense, because quite frankly, the server, that we just spent 32 grand on a new server in the last 6 months in order to move into this century. We needed new cameras. Everything was purchased originally in 2001. All the stuff, everything was analog. Well, the technology has all gone digital. So it wasn't compatible with stuff, and there were volume issues here in Tilton. We had issues, you could see us, couldn't hear us. That was part of the problem with the server, with the microphones. It wasn't compatible equipment. So we've come into this century where the LRPA is still poised to be that provider, because they have all the equipment. But we have to restructure what we do,
Well, I understand that.
how we
but-
go about it.
But how can we make a decision about anything like this when we, at this point, have no idea what the cost is going to be?
We can't, and I'm not even suggesting we should entertain it.
Right.
This is informational only. Part of this is you go on down that the MetroCast is proposing that they give a technology grant to the town. In the old contract, the technology grant went to LRPA as the designee, so that they could buy cameras and monitors and a server and whatever. Hewitt Technical Center, Laconia School District, provides the space at no cost to LRPA.
Okay.
The thing they're trying to do now is give, and I'll bet you they'll come up with the right subscriber numbers too. They're offering a certain amount per subscriber as a technology grant. So Tilton would get a technology grant, and I was just looking for the J. Here we go. Providing the franchising authority is utilized on a continuous basis, blah, blah, blah. One of the access channels franchisee shall provide the franchising authority with an annual cash payment in the amount of blah, because that's the point. We wanted $5, they wanted 50 cents. We came back with $4. They went, we need to talk about it. So that's where we're at with that. But if we get $3 per subscriber, as measured by the most recent annual report of franchisee provided to the franchising authority, to be used as a technology grant in support of access programming. Now, that doesn't have to be public access, certainly. That could be governmental access, in our case, because we don't have a school. We've assigned our school. We've made them our designee, and we can use it for either, well, I guess we could use it for the school, but we have to use it for access programming. So it would either be that, I don't know, pick $1,000 to LRPA or whatever it is, to buy into the public airwaves for our residents.
Right.
Or it could be used here, and we could upgrade our server, or whatever it is that needs to be done. Tim is going to be much more knowledgeable on what does it actually take for us to be able to broadcast these meetings, or any meetings that we're so inclined, on the television to people in Tilton. So that we're still in the negotiation. So a month from now, We're supposed to, and I'll give you the exact date, I've got it on my little device here, wherever it is. There will be another meeting on the 28th, I think, of June. We're having an LRPA meeting at which we should be finalizing a rate structure so that after, in July, I can come back and say, okay, this is what they're proposing. And we can, and we'll have what is the technology grant amount for Tilton in theory going to be, and so on. And let me see, I think that's it as far as the
MetroCast?
MetroCast. The last thing I sent you from MetroCast is substantially unchanged. Still, the public access parts of it are still in flux. We're trying to get the exact wording so that we can shut off towns that don't contribute. If Tilton opts not to contribute, Channel 25 would be dark in Tilton.
Okay.
We would have our government because if we're doing that here ourselves, but if we opt not to do that because we have the stuff on the website, that'd be dark as well.
So basically, what you're saying is, when we elected not to belong to LRPA and pay that money, and the voters voted not to pay it, and we went to the website, and it was put on, and of course, everyone that has access to it likes what we have a lot better.
Absolutely.
But-
Me too.
I, as a consumer, pay my $128 a month, and now they're going to tell me, well, if your town doesn't join this, you no longer get Channel 25? Are they going to
Yeah.
take $5 off my bill?
No. Nope.
Now we know how Belmont ended
DirecTV is
up.
looking better and better.
I get DirecTV, and I got to tell you, the fact that I'm the town representative to this
Yeah.
negotiation, and I'm on the board of LRPA, notwithstanding, if you don't have DirecTV, you're missing the boat. There's more channels. I never had any problem with the clarity, interruption, even in the middle of the snowstorms. I've never had an outage.
Out rain fade.
And it's so much less expensive. I paid $30 a month. $30 a month for more channels, as opposed to 128 or whatever. I don't get the HBOs, but I get Japanese TV, and I get all sorts of stuff. Which, in my house, Japanese TV is a very necessary thing for me personally. Trust me on this. So, okay, that's pretty much and we don't have to, we're going to have to, after our last thing at the end of next month, we're still going to have MetroCast here and negotiate with them, because we're going to see this, and this is a boilerplate, a template. Most of it is going to be really good, but some of it's not going to be good at all for us.
What about if we invite Comcast?
We can invite anybody we want. My experience with this issue is that Comcast won't even send anybody. And the reason is because the infrastructure. It would
Right.
cost them millions of dollars if they can get on those little poles out there.
Right.
And they have problems. So they're buying cable systems, they're buying franchises, but they're not coming in to compete in little areas. People like Verizon, as it turns out, has a deal with Dish TV. And you can go to Verizon as part of their package, but you get a dish on the top of your house. And there's a reduced rate, and it's like DirecTV and whatever. And you could even get internet up to 4 megabytes, which is live streaming sporting events and everything else through these people. And you can get it on your little handheld devices and everything else, which you can't with MetroCast. But I'm not here to talk up or down MetroCast. You all make your own choices on that one. Okay, so that ends unless you have questions, that ends my consortium report. We slide right into the co-op. Joyce went to the co-op meeting last night. Is there any new news to report, Joyce?
Well, the new news is that a lot of these smaller communities are holding off on making a decision depending upon what Concord does.
Right.
And it's like, why are you doing that?
Because it's a 75%, 55% or 54% thing. If Concord goes in, then you have to have 75%, and if they go out, you have to have 54%, or the other way around. And if Concord doesn't go in, they want to see what is everybody else going to do? They're on what is everybody else going to do?
I say, do what's best for your own community.
As do I, which leads me into the fact that I sat here and listened to the presentation by Bestway.
Yep.
And basically found that we could save $37,000 over the course of the 10-year period, 9-year period, that they were proposing to hold the line at their tipping fee. That being contingent on the final DES approvals and what have you, although I gotta imagine that they're gonna do what they need to do to get those approvals.
You're saying that we'll save, I didn't think the best way went out 10 years.
And he said he would.
He said
I
he would?
asked him, I says, the other guy's given us 10 years, will you go 10 years? He went, yep.
I think exactly, so you go as long as we have to.
There you go. He'll go out 10 years at $2 less a ton. But what that saves us over the proposal for the $66 a ton is $37,000.
I understand, but what about the money we're going to lose?
There's my point. That's what I'm getting to.
But if,
We walk away from $117,000.
that's not guaranteed.
Yes, it is.
It is if we all become part of the co-op going forward.
If we sign up, we get, well, we can't, it's not exactly 117, but it's determined on our actual tonnage that we deliver as of April of 2013 to the end of December 2014.
But it's based on all the tonnage,
recycling
all the
January
tonnage that's
1st.
delivered,
If Concord pulls out,
including commercial. If Concord pulls out, if we get 54% of the other guys, we still get the $117,000.
but you gotta get the other 50%.
And there you go, but no matter where they bring their other garbage, can they beat the amounts of money that Waste Management, Wheelabrator, is proposing to kick back on the ash?
Well,
And that's what they have to ascertain. We sat right here, and for us, unless they come back with a significantly lower tipping fee,
well, it's hard for me because if you count everything, it would seem like we'd be better off staying where we are than to change.
not only that, I think there's an environmental factor here. We're turning that garbage into energy.
Yeah.
Most of the energy in this country is coming from coal and nuclear, with wind and solar and hydroelectric, and we do have some hydroelectric here in the state and proposed more, but apparently that's going to Connecticut. But in any case, we're turning it into energy, which seems to me more responsible than burying it in the ground in its current state. Of course, the ash still has to be buried in the ground, but it's 1/10 of the mass volume that garbage is when it goes in the ground.
Well, but ash will eventually have to be cleaned up too.
And eventually it will, but ash, as it turns out, there's a way to turn it into asphalt.
Oh, okay.
It isn't economically feasible right this second because the asphalt plant that was proposed by RJ or RD Edmonds, who actually does the ash landfill work in there, right outside the gate of it, was not allowed by the city of Franklin.
Okay, well,
So until it gets worth sorting out the metal that's in there to sell it and shipping that ash to an asphalt plant commercially, then no. But otherwise, there's a potential use for the ash.
right, well, and, I mean, even that aside, I mean, not that that's not much, but just looking at the dollars, it seems like we would be better off, for now anyway, unless Best Way is coming back with something else.
With the numbers that I've seen so far, I would say that the Wheelabrator's the way to go.
Right. we stand to gain the most from going that direction.
And I have no clue. I sent an email to a person in Concord whom I shall not name on the tape, that would have knowledge, if anybody, and currently has no knowledge of what Concord is going to do.
Right, I understand.
Their personal feeling is that Wheeler Brader is the way to go, but they don't make that choice, somebody else does.
I understand. Okay,
As far as anything else goes, I have no new recycling news.
okay.
Everything is everything at this point, and we're on the road. Well, no, I do. I have a couple of informational discussions that I'm giving to residents. I still don't have dates, just the ballpark figures. How's it going to work? We received a tentative list of the residences, and whether it's a single or a double or a fourple or whatever. And Jerry over at Bestway is supposed to, I got something from him today that says they're going to coordinate that with their route list. They have a route list, so they know what houses they pick up at.
Right.
So that'll be a significant,
Yeah, he emailed me and told me that the spreadsheet was perfect, exactly what he needed.
so he can cross-reference, and, I mean, the spreadsheet was for informational, subject to change type, but they needed something so that they could start comparing, what do we have, what do we expect versus
Right.
what do they have? So we'll get a final determination from them, and we can look at that and approve that when that comes around.
Okay,
I do believe that is all from Selectman Jessman.
okay. How about Al?
Everything in the sign world is looking good so far this week. The week's over, so it's good. We have a few cases going forward to court,
Okay,
so when we get more information, I'll give it to you. It's summertime, buildings picking up, people are doing things that they're not supposed to be doing and not coming in for permits, so if you can hear me, please come in, because your neighbors are watching, and they're calling me.
I have a question for you. I pass a house that has a travel trailer, and I thought they were just storing the travel trailer, on the property. It's like the house is here, and it's kind of set back a little bit, but all of a sudden, there's lawn chairs out there, and, almost like they're using it. I don't know if, probably not for them, but maybe for summer companies or something. Are they supposed to come in and notify the town when they do something like that, or is that just,
They got 30 days
yeah,
of usage. And how do you keep track of it?
right,
That's what I've been trying to come up with.
okay,
There's a lot of people in town that do
Well-
this.
First day that you're made aware somebody's in there, mark it down, take a
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
But then you'd have to go back
Every day.
every day or weekly or something.
yeah,
And-
No, I
yeah,
went for a week.
yeah.
That's a state law, isn't it?
No, it's in our zoning.
That's our zoning.
Okay, I'm sorry, did I just
No,
want to
and
ask?
I'm good. That's it.
I'm all set.
You're all set?
I'm all set.
I just want to remind everyone that we have a fundraiser for the Tilton Senior Center for the spaghetti dinner, June 18th, $10 at Lockmere Country Club. Tickets are available here at Town Hall, or myself, or anyone on the committee. That's all I have. I did get a phone call about the hawkers and peddlers that I'm looking into, and we're also going to the hawkers and peddlers class on June 4th, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, June 4th. So hopefully we'll get our questions answered.
Right.
It was from Tanger Outlet.
Well, we're going to be there, it's a place to get these answers at.
So, That be it. Last night at the Fire Commissioners meeting, they extended the evening. They did not choose a replacement fire commissioner, and they're extending the meeting to June 5th. At that time, there will be a public meeting, and then they will choose a commissioner to join with them at their regular meeting on June 12th.
Right.
Other than that, that's it.
The only thing I really have is, I just wanted to give a big thank you to the highway guys. Just before Memorial Day, they went out and they cleaned up Best Pocket Park, so it would look as good as the rest of the town did. They did a really nice job of spiffing everything up, and we appreciate you guys. Thank you. That's all I got.
I got a lot of feedback after the parade on Saturday. Why isn't the town involved in the parade, and why don't we do something? And this has happened every single year.
It's come up for 13 years.
Yeah.
the same-
And last year, we asked the chief to go ahead and do something for us, and nothing's been done. And again, once again, we get barraged with, people asking, why aren't we doing anything? How come it wasn't publicized? Well, the town didn't, it's not town-sponsored, it's the Legion, and they don't notify anybody of when it is, what time it is, and when they get all the guys together, they come up. So,
Maybe the Board of Selectmen should contact the American Legion
Yeah.
and, appoint one of us as like a liaison and work with them.
That way we can put the ads out, we can talk about it on, at our meetings.
Yeah, see what the town can do to,
we should be doing something,
Yeah.
other than, standing there watching the American Legion
Yeah.
come up and put something on the... I understand that the school band was a part of it this year, but that was it. Joyce, do you have anything for us, or?
Just a couple quick things.
Maybe we will be able to get to go to...
Well, it does look
Kathy's
like a pretty
funeral.
short pile.
Big short pile. I hate those
Well,
big
that's
short
a
ones.
short pile, I've seen it come.
Well, after Al said, what I explained to him, I said, I just have it there in case I need it. I'm going to be passing around, this is from Franklin Savings Bank. They have some tickets they want to give away for Fisher Cats game, so those are the 3 dates.
Oh, I'm gonna be a no, so.
I'm a definite yes.
What day is it?
It's the 11th,
Choose.
12th, or the 24th.
So
It's
How
whoever
many
can make
tickets
it.
are there?
It's whoever can make it the most of those dates. We got to get back to her soon.
real quick, because they go real fast.
So far, there's,
4 people that are interested, but we could go any day.
there's 4, but how many tickets?
12.
they have room for
No,
12 people in their box.
But you have 2. Tim has how many?
It's
No, you
all
didn't.
home day night. I've got something all of those days I can't go.
Oh,
This is town.
what's that?
I have something all those days I can't go.
Nobody else? Okay.
Unfortunately, because
So-
I would go.
There's 4 of us, there's 4 from here, from Town Hall. Did you ask Cindy and
No,
Johanna?
It was addressed to the selectmen.
All right, my personal feeling is to open it up to Cindy, Johanna, and Gus.
Well, it's not it's their invitation.
Right.
Yeah, they have 12 tickets.
They have-
Last year, what we did is we opened...
I read the email, I thought it said they have 12 spaces in their booth.
Right.
Right,
They have room for 12 people,
Right.
and they've sent this invitation to the Board of Selectmen.
right. Last year,
Sent it to Tim, and Tim sent
right.
it to the Board of
In
Selectmen.
other words, they're giving us 12 tickets.
Are they giving us the 12
Yes.
spaces
Yes.
to
Right.
use for town hall?
Right, and last
Okay.
year, what happened was there wasn't enough people in Town Hall, so that we split the difference between half fire and half police, and they joined us.
Right.
So, because we asked Highway, and we asked Town Hall.
If they're extending it to the town of Tilton, all 12 spaces, then yeah, we should open it up to everybody in town hall first.
So let's do that, and then highway, and everybody agree? And then we'll split the difference between, if we have 6 left over, then 3 and 3?
But we should pick a night.
Are these June or July?
July. Did I give you the wrong sheet?
It did?
Yeah, this is July.
You
So
told me
it's not in
June.
June, it's in July?
Are you sure?
Yes. 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
I thought you told me June.
I thought he told me June, too.
The first one was June. We didn't respond quickly enough.
Ah, I got it.
There was two, June 11th and 12th, and then the
So what day?
23rd. Yeah,
what-
this is July 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
So that's, we got to find out what dates what day they're on. July 22nd
It's a Monday.
is a Monday,
It's a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
so the 24th would be great for Kim and I.
And it was Wednesday.
All right, so pick the 24th.
And I'm going to be in Manchester then, too. That'd be great.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 8 slots left. Right, I already checked with Al and Catherine. You guys had said no.
Correct.
And you're no, Sandy's a no.
So,
I can't go, I have something every one of those days.
In July?
Busy.
Oh, in July?
It's
That's
I
July.
thought we were in June.
Oh, it's
Hey, now.
July 22nd,
Hey
23rd,
now,
and
pay attention to
24th.
the dates.
What happened to the 11th and...
Those were gone, but we didn't act
Look
fast
at the
enough.
July 24th day.
Oh, yeah, I'm available on the 24th.
Okay.
Okay.
For a good time, call.
All right.
You gonna,
Okay, so Joe's available, there's
Okay.
5.
All right, so 7
So-
more. So I'll go
So,
town hall. and-
Town
What
Hall and
about
then
Kyoko?
Highway.
what about Kyoko? Can he take her, or is this just employees?
I think we're just starting with employees.
Oh, okay.
Will there be beer?
No, I don't just, I
I don't know.
What time
don't
is the
go
game?
there about organized sports.
Who's playing the game?
I don't care who's playing, what time is it?
Oh, I have to look at the schedule. It's in the evenings, like they
All right,
usually are.
no, I'm gonna put it
They'll let
down at
us know.
6.
They'll let us, yeah, they'll let us know. And they're in their box seat with,
Yeah, I've been in those box seats
Yeah.
before,
All right,
not
so I'm
theirs,
going to go ahead and
but...
email Deb and
It's-
tell
it's
her
nice.
about the 24th, and then we'll fill in the rest of the,
do we want to open it up to spouses in Town Hall, or do you want to?
I think we should open it up to town employees first.
Right.
Okay,
if we can't get enough town employees, then,
okay, got it.
Yeah, probably the police would go too if you offered them.
Yeah, they did last year.
Yeah.
we got our official letter from LGC saying that our insurance will pay for cleanup costs up to $10,000 per occurrence.
Right.
So it's official.
And it's going to cost $10,000, right?
What are we cleaning up?
Ernie's.
Petroleum.
Oh.
Up to 10,000, and also if there's a third-party claim,
Yep,
it would pay for that, but we haven't had any third-party claims.
okay.
And tomorrow morning early, I just printed one of the pictures. Don't have to save on ink. The big Enpro is coming at 7 o'clock in the morning to start removing the 2 big dirt piles. And what I asked them was to also remove those pipes and things. Back when they were doing the, demoing the building, he said that the contractor did remove a lot of the other metal and stuff that was around on the ground when they were moving around, because we can't find this car part.
I saw this.
Scrap. They
I've been
took it for
walking
scrap,
around over
yeah,
there.
probably.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they took whatever they could, because that's money
Money.
to them.
Yep.
So what's left is that, and so I asked them to please see if there's
Not much,
any way
yeah.
Enpro can take that away.
Those the hydraulic lifts?
Yeah. And he said that they have to wait and see, they have to make sure that there aren't any PCBs in that
TCB, like taking care of business? No.
PCBs.
No, I know.
So now that we have our letter, we can go ahead and apply to the state.
Right.
So that's good news.
Yep.
And so we'll have a nice, pretty site, and then I guess we just wait and see what the state's going to require for the cleanup. And then whenever you folks are ready to work with the Concom on how you're going to redevelop the site,
Well,
or we're going to wait for where the bridge is going to land.
shouldn't we really let the Concom do that?
Yeah,
I mean, it really is their site.
that's right.
They,
We have to approve it ultimately, don't we?
no.
It's our...
They're the ones who, we approved their purchase. I mean, it would be nice if they allowed us some input,
Right.
but I think it's their site.
This is communication from Attorney Puffer, what was recently filed with the court. That just came in today. And I just highlighted what the amount was. And while you're looking at that, there weren't as many people at that joint board meeting last night, Joe, as I had thought, but Franklin was there, Belmont. and-
Usually it's full, but if there was nobody actually voting on
there's
anything,
no-
then
But one thing they did clarify was when they talked about the CPI, these were just in the general terms, that they will be using the same CPI that they're using in the existing contract, which is the Northeast Urban. And the other questions that came up having to do with towns that, particularly Concord, because they don't have a flow control ordinance. So they were concerned about that. But we do have a flow control ordinance, I'm sure. Back when you joined the co-op, Catherine, didn't the town meeting, that was one of my questions, adopt the flow control ordinance, meaning that everybody in town had to take it to the incinerator, and that's why you created your licensed hauler applications, and that's an ordinance, right, Catherine? I know a lot of the
Concord
communities-
I don't
doesn't
know,
have a
that
flow
was
control?
done pre-me.
But I'm pretty sure, check again, because I'm pretty sure because they were part of the co-op, they
Had a flow control.
had to send all their garbage to the co-op to get the price.
Right.
All right, well, he was making a big stink about that, because the terms of the new contract say that if there's any leakage, like if a community is sending their refuse.
Town. They're part of the
so you gotta pay.
consortium. Part of the consortium decided to bring it to a transfer station there in town because they got a sweetheart deal. That's leakage. All of a sudden, the tonnage that our price was based on is leaking somewhere else. So that's leakage. The diversion of
So, and he wanted to know if Concord would have to be responsible if they did catch someone, would they have to go litigate that, take that person to court because they weren't abiding by the ordinance? And the response is that our only requirement in this new agreement is that we make the person aware that, no, we have this ordinance, you have to take it to Wheelabrator. It would be up to Wheelabrator if they really wanted to go, because we're certainly not going to litigate.
Well, we have an ordinance, don't we enforce our ordinances?
Oh, we should.
We should.
Okay. I don't know why there was such a problem with them. But and the other sense I got from the people that were there, because those that have been going out and looking for other providers or who have already been contacted by, like Casella or whatever, their price came in right around ours. So, I mean, it's public information.
It is public
So there's a
information.
little disappointment there. And I would say that the general consensus of the people that were there was stay with tried and true. We're very fortunate because we're so close. Franklin had mentioned that they have to take into consideration the fact that they own all their own equipment, And they would have the added expense of having to drive to Bethlehem or to Rochester or wherever.
There's no transfer station anywhere around big enough to take that trash.
So,
No, I kind of like that amount.
I'm
though.
thinking that Concord, I don't know anything, but just from the conversations I've had, I'm thinking Concord's gonna have a hard time getting any better a deal. Unless they go to Wheelabrator and say, okay, you need our, it's 25,000 tons or whatever, and we want a separate deal. Because they're looking for the best price they can get, pure and simple. That's right, rightly they should.
so I think that, I agree with Joe that we should stay with the co-op.
Well, that's the way it's looking to me, after going over everything.
We have several meetings prior to the actual decision being made, though,
They
so
said
we'll bring it up again.
26th is their deadline that they have to let Wheeler.
Yeah. When's the next meeting, Joyce?
I don't. I drafted for the board a letter to Senator Forrester. And then,
Oh, yeah.
after this one, we would send one similar to this to the commissioner, and copying all the DOT people.
It's a good letter. You like that, huh?
Well, I like it better when we get a check.
Don't hold your
A
breath.
wheelbarrow full of pennies?
Don't hold your breath. Truck full of steel.
I didn't say we were gonna get one. I said I'd like it better when we do get one.
Well, they're reading. Our process for the hawkers and peddlers license, before they actually get the permit, we need the signature from the police. And do we wait, we need to have something from the fire department.
Both of those people have already contacted the fire department, and once they put their tent up, Brad will go over there and check it.
Okay, so what will happen is we'll get something from the fire department, and if we don't, we'll go have them take the tent down?
Right. I bet he served 5 shades of purple.
Is that what we'll do? Okay.
That's been their practice.
I couldn't remember. It only comes up once a year. Really?
I liked the letter to
It's a good letter.
Jeannie Forrester.
Did you want to change anything?
No.
Nope.
So you wouldn't print this out. And then the one to the commissioner will be a little bit stronger.
Okay.
But Jeannie will back us up so she can follow up.
Okay.
In your to be signed, I have the contract for the transcription services. See that?
The what?
Transcription services for the Winnipesaukee River Basin project.
And the to be signed?
Approved that a couple of meetings ago, and
Yeah, I think I signed everything in there.
had sent it to the board.
It's in the back.
Is that the one that the chairman signs?
Yep.
Yes, you need a motion for the chairman to sign.
I haven't signed it because I don't have a motion.
Nope, you didn't sign it.
Well, we need to make a motion for her to sign it.
Right, and there's also a document that Cindy has to attest to.
And that's the one I did
That's the one
sign.
you guys signed.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion that we just have the chairman sign the document for the, what is it called?
Winnipesaukee River Basin Project Transcription Services.
That's the
Second.
motion.
Second.
Any other comments?
Has that person agreed to continue?
Yes.
Very nice.
Anything else?
Is that paper in here?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
Then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hey, I just
Having
figured
never
it's about
seen-
you, so I should
Never
do
seen
it.
the form, I'll abstain.
Oh, it's in there.
Yeah, but I
last
still
one.
haven't seen it.
Very last
How can I
one.
vote aye on something I've never, the last page?
Okay, so one abstention. How about you? What are you gonna do, Pat? You yay, nay?
Oh, I'm a yay.
Okay,
I love to sign.
okay.
I'm a yay.
So one abstention.
already signed.
No.
No,
Oh, no,
that's,
that's something else.
yes.
It says Winnipesaukee River Basin right on it.
No, the
That's-
next one after that.
That's the test.
Oh,
Yes.
I see.
I just need you to sign the attest.
Be a test I could sign.
Yeah.
And now I give the meeting back to
Chairman
you.
to sign the actual form.
Right.
They don't have the proper amount of lines on it?
No.
What kind of shit is that?
Well, it's the same state contract. You have to talk to governor and council.
I'd be glad to talk to governor and council.
Take them every contract they sign for the state, which we're the only state in the union that does that. Every single contract the state enters into, governor and council has to.
Oh, they've got lots of state lines on here, but
Sure.
Because again, towns get left out.
are we on tape?
Oh, yeah,
I was
I
wondering.
know.
Pass
I
that
turned
back
it
down
on.
here so I can
beautiful
sign.
thing.
If one of you could cover the office on Friday, June 21st, from 12:30 to 3:30.
June 21st?
Right, monthly, the New Hampshire municipal managers, they always have a training session.
Yep.
And so I pick and choose which ones to go to, ones that interest me. And this is another one on the healthcare reform update.
until the motion's made.
And I had a taste of it when I went to the benefit administrators workshop, which was just, they only had like an hour, and this will be just focused just on healthcare reform instead of everything. So
I can do it.
I'd really love to go. You don't mind?
No. All day,
No, it's from 12:30 to 3:30.
12:30 to 3:30?
Yep. And I can come in and help you if you want.
We can have a party.
And then on the following Monday, because I'll be on vacation, and Catherine will be off that day,
On the 24th?
on the 24th. So Tim will be here. He's here
You want
on
me to be
Monday.
Catherine? That day?
Sure, if you want.
I don't know. I don't know if
mean,
I
Tim
can
will
juggle
be
that
here,
many phones. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
The office will be covered.
Hello? Hello?
But-
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
You're
Yep,
almost
sure,
better.
I'll get back to you.
You're
Yep,
almost
okay.
better not to answer her phone.
I know. I got in trouble twice answering her phone.
I did too, in the
Whoa,
past.
what a rat's nest.
I have an
I-
11:15 dentist appointment, but other than that, the rest of the day is open.
I can cover in the morning.
I'll be here anyway, so
I'll
if you
make
need
sure
me,
that-
just call me up down.
Payroll's
Okay.
all
Call me
ready
up
to
now.
go Friday, and then
I'll cover in the morning
up to
until
go.
Al gets
Call
here,
me
and then
up
he can
now.
answer the phone. No. What do you want?
You call me up down, I'm there.
well, it's not even so much answering the phone, it's just the people that come in. You know,
And the worst thing is, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about abatements. No, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that. No, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that. No, I'm sorry.
She said what?
They're on vacation today, they'll be
That's the
back.
day, that's the day when you
Tomorrow.
cover for Catherine, you really appreciate what she does.
Oh, yeah.
so tomorrow morning early, I'm going to be at Ernie's, because I have to sign the manifest when they come in. And then I'm meeting with Dennis at 8:30 with the gentleman from Home Depot to go over supplies and stuff, so.
Okay.
Is that it? Wow. Are you kidding me?
Talk about that now.
Littering.
You have
Oh,
time
yes.
to-
Did you go over, do you have an opportunity to go over that? I have to
No,
check on that.
I'm communicating with her.
Okay.
We're not agreeing on some things. Yep.
So you're not
Not
ready?
agreeing on some things.
Oh, we
Where do
will
I
on-
sign?
we will.
Contractor signature?
So, Mrs.
Signature.
Administrator,
Yeah,
how much does it cost to do a background check?
$25.
Do we do a background check on everybody that comes and applies for a hawkers and peddlers license?
Do we do this here? Right there? Contractor signature?
Yes, right there. And then I will write in your total.
What's that? Oh, the public got something to say.
I heard crickets chirping.
Heard sun shining.
If we would require that, though, we'd have to find out if we would have to pay for it. I know, like, the school district, because they require it, the school district pays for it.
Right. And it's $25. We do a similar one within the PD for the chat committee members. It's different, but
What do you mean the school
Hawkers-
pays for it?
Peddlers is very different
When
from
I
that.
did my background check for being a football coach, they didn't pay for it. I paid for it.
I don't know, I just know that for anybody that's associated with the school in a volunteer capacity, you're required to be fingerprinted, and
Right, I was.
they pay for the background check.
They didn't pay for mine. Go figure there.
They saw you coming, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
How long ago was it?
It wasn't part of the school curriculum.
Ah,
That's what,
Wow, that's what it was.
that's true.
That's what it was.
So they didn't have a budget for it.
Right.
Well, they weren't responsible for them.
Can I make a motion?
I'm responsible myself.
Friends of Winnisquam football were.
I'm just.
I'd like to
Can
make a
we say-
motion to adjourn.
Second?
You know.
All in favor?
We could make,
Hey!
just,
Wait a minute.
that, I don't, that we've
kidding me?
lost her, that,
Yeah.
I mean, she was a servant to
Speak out
the
of turn.
community.
Yes.
I just want to say something
Oh, okay.
before we adjourn.
Oh, okay.
I think that it really, we need to say this as a board. We have lost Kathy Wilson, a Franklin VNA nurse, very suddenly. A huge, she passed away.
Field over,
Yeah.
goodness.
Very, 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 very instrumental in our community, to our seniors, to our residences.
Woman was above and beyond the call of duty.
Absolutely. And so it's a huge loss to Franklin VNA and a huge loss to our community.
Yes.
So our heartfelt thoughts are out to her family.
Yes.
That's what I had to say.
I know what Kathy was.
Adjourned.
Give me an address, back with it.